This one though, this one I loved. I loved this one. This one is so good. This one has the comic book that's called Baron. There's only 4 parts to Baron. So that was issues 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 7 through 11 were Baron, the series Baron, and then after that there were just like one story comics. So after Baron, there was another one called Quickening, and the Quickening is actually about Ty Calisto, a character that I talked about yesterday in my Gears of War 2 review. It goes into how he joined the COG and what happened to him when he was captured by the Locust. So that's just one comic about Ty, and then after that is another single comic about another gear I think is only mentioned. I'm not sure if it was you find his cog, his like his dog tags. They're kind of like cog tags in Gears of War 2 or what, because he ends up dying. But his name is Harper, Jonathan Harper, and that's Harper's story. So that's what's in here. 4 issues of Baron. 1 that's called The Quickening, which is about Ty, and then the last one is Harper's story, which is about Jonathan Harper. The comic Baron is very good. I love this one. It introduces her. Her name is Alex Brand. She's a sergeant. She's a gear, and she's pretty cool. I really like her, and I'm actually kind of surprised that she's not going to be in Gears of War 3. And at least they haven't said anything about it. There are 3 girls that we know are going to be in Gears of War 3 so far, but I don't think. But Alex hasn't been shown or anything. She's not one of them. It just kind of surprises me. I mean, I'd love to see her in it, like surprise she's in it. That would be cool. But it's called Baron because what happens to women in Gears of War, in the Gears of War world, women that could bear children are taken to this facility, or not facility, but this place that the Gears actually call the farm, and they basically just get pregnant and have kids because humanity's being wiped out by the Locust. So the COG are like, we have to keep making people, we have to keep making babies, and Marcus even says, we need to keep making like soldiers. So that's all these women do. Women that could give birth, they're in this farm, and they just get raped all the time. I mean, one of the girls here says that they're even given hormones when they're 10 years old, so that they can start their menstruation. And since they're 10, they already start getting raped, so that they could get pregnant and have kids. And whoever can't have kids, the women that can't have kids, so they're barren, are in the army. So that's why Anya Stroud is in the army, because she can't have kids. And Alex too. Alex is in the army because she can't have kids. But Alex didn't find out that she couldn't have kids until way later. So she actually was in the farm when she was very young, and she was raped a lot. So, but when they found out that she couldn't get pregnant, they were like, they kicked her out, and she had to enlist in the army. The reason why Anya didn't have to go through that, because it's like, well, how come Alex was there to begin with, and Anya wasn't? Well, Anya had Anya was the daughter of a legendary major. Her name is Major Helena Stroud. She was like one of the major majors of the Pendulum Wars, and she was in command when Marcus was there. So Marcus was under her command for a while. Helena Stroud, when it comes to the Gears, is very, very well respected. Like, anybody that ever talks about Helena Stroud, it's like, wow, she was amazing. She died, but Anya, since Anya is her daughter, they weren't gonna put her in the farm. They found out that she was barren. They found out that she was infertile, that she couldn't have babies, and they put her in command. That's not said in here. I'm just giving you the reason why Alex was in the farm and Anya wasn't. So this Anya isn't. You don't find out about Anya in this one. You just find out about Alex. So after you meet Alex, she basically saves your guys' butts. Marcus, Dom, and Jace were out in the field and they got in this heavy firefight. And this other guy and Alex end up saving you. The other guy actually was like, I don't know how to do it. There's like a sniper up there and there's the tickers. Tickers are like these crazy little dog bombs. I'll go into that in my enemies thing for Gears of War 2. But they blow up. And Alex just climbs up there and like, boom, she like kills the sniper and everything, like nothing. Colonel Hoffman sends Delta on this mission to go investigate the farm because there's like a signal coming, like a beacon coming from there, and they're like, we don't know what's going on, go check it out. So Marcus, Dom, Baird, Cole, Jace, and Alex go to investigate. And Alex is actually kind of leading this with Marcus because she's also a sergeant, like Marcus. And Baird's kind of pissed off about that. He does not. This is where you find out how much of a jerk Baird is. If you thought he was a jerk in the games, you have no idea how much of a jerk Baird is. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm just like, oh my god. I don't know how they put up with him. The things he does is like, damn. But he's very, very sexist. He hates women, especially in the army. And it's not like he's gay or anything. He just doesn't like women in the army. He thinks they're bad shots, and he's just like, ugh, you got a girl fighting, and even though they're really qualified, like Alex could shoot his head off from like miles away, but he just doesn't want to accept it. He's like in denial, so he's pissed off the whole time. And when they get there, they find themselves a group of women that are very hostile, and they're hostile because of everything that the COG has done to them. Like, they've raped them and all that, and they treat them like cattle, basically. And so they're just pointing their guns at them, and Baird points their guns at them, and Marcus is like, stand down, and Baird is just like, screw that, they've got their guns pointing at me first. And the girls actually start shooting, and Baird starts shooting, and Marcus is like, stand down, and they're all just trying to kill each other. And Baird is like, I'm not gonna stop shooting, my cover's giving out. But these are the girls that they meet. This is Annalisa. She's not like the leader, but she's one of the, they're like the security guard. And she does not get along with Baird at all. So they go looking to see where this beacon's coming from, this signal, and they find this girl that's just kind of lost it. She's not there. She's not all there. And when Marcus asks her, he asks her, who are you? Or are you okay? And she's just like smiling and happy. And Baird's like, I think she's retarded. And Marcus is like, shut up. But she was, actually. She wasn't. She was really kind of cuckoo. And she was the one that was pushing this button. It was like a beacon, but it was calling in the locusts. It was like an SOS for the locusts. And they look outside the window. There's like a pack of locusts out there, led by this Cantus. And at the time, they didn't know what it was, whether it was a Cantus or a Theron. And those two locusts are both two of the smartest locusts out there. So the Cantus and the Theron. But Baird was like, because Baird's the locust specialist, the locust genius. So he was like, I don't know if it's a Cantus or a Theron. They get into this firefight. Marcus actually gets slapped in the face by this huge, what was it? I think it was a Mauler. Yeah, it was a Mauler. Marcus gets slapped in the face by a Mauler, which is another form of a boomer, another type of boomer. Gets like, whoosh, that thing. Down there, he gets slapped in the face, and he's just like, out. He just gets unconscious, and he's just on the ground. And the locusts actually use that as bait for the gears to come out to help Marcus. But Baird is like, no, you have to close the doors, and they close themselves into the building, and the locusts are all out there, and Marcus is out there with the locusts on the ground, unconscious, and Dom is actually going crazy. He's like, we have to go back out there, and he's actually like, he looks like he's shaking. See, like, I don't know if you could tell, but right there, he you can see his little lines, so it looks like he's shaking, where he's just like, we have to go back out there, like we can't just leave Marcus out there. And Baird is like, you have to stand down, and Baird takes charge of everything, and not because of his rank, but because of his intelligence. He's the smartest one there. So Marcus beforehand always knew that Baird was going to be the one that was going to take over. And if he was ever out or, killed in action or something. So Baird takes a position like that, and that's where you really see Baird in action, where he's using his head, and I loved that part. Because he's like, if I was at Cantus, what would I be doing? What would I be planning? Was it a Cantus or is it a Theron? And it was just so cool to see Baird in action. And he comes up with this plan. He's like, we have to fool them and make them think like they're winning us, and we have to seem like we don't know what we're doing, and let them all in. And then when they come in, they'll be walking into a trap. He's like, we can't let them call for backup, because if they call for backup, they're going to be calling for big creatures now. So that's just, it's a really cool situation. That scene, I love it. They have kids there, so they have to try to take the kids out, like escape with the kids before the locusts come in. So that's what they do. They do teams, and Jace leads the kids and some of the girls, the ladies, out through this like vent, and Baird actually records the kids crying and like going, "Mommy, I'm scared," and he puts them on the PA he puts them like a loop of the kids crying and calling for their mommy and all that on the intercom, so that the locusts think that they're still in there, like, like, oh yeah, we're getting to them, and you can just hear like the kids going, ah, mommy, help me, while the gears are like hiding and waiting for them to come in. And when they come in, like a bunch of frag grenades just go off and destroy that place, kill a bunch of locusts. So it is pretty cool. They eventually get Marcus and they leave, but some of the ladies didn't want to leave because they were like, we're not going to go with you pigs. They're just gonna use us as baby machines again. And Baird gets really pissed. He's like, that's what we came here for. That's the mission. We have to take you. You guys are coming. He says it in a very mean way, though. And Marcus is just like, I don't care. I'm not losing my team. If you guys don't want to come, don't come. But we're taking the kids. Only one lady gets left behind. The lady that they call Matron. She's like the leader of those ladies. And she's the only one that gets left behind. Annalisa, the one that I showed you, the one with the white hair, the one that hates Baird. She wanted to stay too, but they just dragged her out. I guess they didn't want to lose her or something. I don't know. But Alex ends up shooting her in the arm, and Baird carries her out. Like, that's the only way that they were gonna take her, that lady, Annalise. So they all leave, and they only have that one lady that died. It's Baird carrying her out, and it's pretty funny because they have to leave really quick. And Alex is like, come on, get in the freaking Jeep or whatever it was. I think it was an APC. No, it wasn't. It was something smaller. It was like a van or something. And she's just like almost tearing Baird's teeth out. And he's like, I can't. He says, I'm trying, but this chick here's not listening. They eventually leave, and they get out. And that's it. That's why it's called Baron, and that was a really good comic. So if you want to read some good Gears of War comics, that one's really good.